Everywhere you go, I was in Hiram City Hall here, there are signs about the Salute America 2013 Air Show this Friday and Saturday, but that wasn't the news today. Instead, the news was about a company that the Atlanta media fears will come in and compete with Hartsfield-Jackson Airport. I caught up with Paulding's economic developer Jamie Gilbert, and we talked about it.
You're on camera. You can tell I've got a camera running right now.
Yes.
Okay. And the reality is that that was a big secret.
Yes, it was.
How big a secret and why?
Big secret because we had to wait until I'm not the county and I'm not the airport authority.
Right.
But all of this had to be kept pretty much confidential because there are a lot of issues surrounding projects we're working on with companies that they've been helping us with. And, you have issues related to, just, it's more of a question, I think, for the airport authority. But, we have competitors that we don't want word to get out about, in terms of things like, again, aerospace projects, things like that. So, I think, you have to wait until the client is ready.
Okay, well, I thought it was because it would help hype the air show.
No, to me, it's a confidentiality issue until we're ready to get all of our ducks have been, gotten in a row for it. If you look at what happened, with net and everything, that was a great project. That would have been a wonderful project for that community. But because everything got negotiated publicly, rather than trying to work with the company, just like any project we have, whether it's aerospace or a manufacturing client, you want to get all your issues squared away with the project before you're ready to announce it.
Well, yeah, but wasn't this signed last November or something, almost a year ago?
This is not, understand this, this group is not, it's not about commercial service here.
Mm-hmm.
It's about the ability of this company to bring in the aerospace manufacturers, the maintenance, repair, and overall facilities. We've taken them and been with them on marketing missions to aerospace shows. And these guys, because of their connections and respect within the aerospace industry, have the ability to take us to a show, and they know on a personal and business level the CEOs of the top companies in the world in the aerospace industry.
Okay.
I don't care if we're talking about Airbus or Bombardier, Boeing. They know the CEO, the CFO, the chief operating officers, and that's what we saw here from an economic development standpoint, that deals are done because of relationships that companies have with groups that they've worked with and they trust.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact is, being a new route to both aerospace, because this airport's only 4 years old, and our organization's been around less than 3 years, they provide the venue to open those doors. And so that was the most intriguing part about working with them and having a partnership and understanding how airports develop. This airport and the surrounding technology part are the keys to really creating the type of airport that's a mix of everything that we want in terms of high-paying jobs. And so that is a relationship that I think a lot of communities would just, really be ecstatic about. And they were interested in this airport because location, the size of it, and the ability to really develop it from the ground up. And it's not about commercial service from the economic development perspective. Well, a little bit of that helps. It's really those maintenance, repair, overhaul facilities and aircraft assembly companies that we don't have the relationships with, that these guys do, that now we can see, hey, let's go meet with them, whether it's in France, whether it's in California, whether it's in New York, whether it's in the UK. They know those folks, they can get us in, and then when we have that connection, we've always said, with projects, we're most successful when we're able to sit down with the decision makers and not have a third party and a third party meaning. Something like a consultant or maybe the state of Georgia, where we're down in the low end and we're working our way up through. When we can get to them directly and tell them about Paulding County and this airport and the workforce here and the proximity to Atlanta and all those things are important, we have a great shot at winning projects. We haven't had the ability to get in and see those companies until now, and that's what Propeller brings to the table, as opposed to just us out there trying to say, hey, take a look at Paulding.
Yeah.
We can't do it on our own. These guys are able to do that. So while the news today was about, hey, this could be commercial service down the road, that's not what drove this decision. What drove the decision was that they had the ability work with us on those aerospace projects. And I can tell you that there was one company that looked at Paulding County 3 years ago. The project went away. Actually, it was more than that, because I've been here, it'll be 3 years in March. It was probably more like 4 or 5 years ago. The project came back in the summertime and in the fall, and we still didn't have this partnership with them at that point. We couldn't get anywhere as we were working through the state. Well, these guys had a personal relationship with the company. We went from not being in the mix because the consultant didn't push it, to the fact that our guys at Propeller were able to contact the CEO. They were actually at a reception with the CEO, and the CEO said, "Hey, I'm ready to locate my new facility in the southeast." And our guys said, "Well, is Paulding one of those locations?" And they said, "We don't know anything about Paulding." Well, we got right back in the mix, and we went from not being on the list to being their second choice. They ended up expanding where they are, and that company was Dassault, and they ended up expanding at their Little Rock facility. But they were looking at multiple states, and we weren't even on the short list in Georgia. By our company having that relationship, we immediately jumped right back in, and it came down to Little Rock and us. That's what they bring to the table. Now, it was just too late at that point to really make up the ground that we had lost by not being in there from a consultant. But that's what they bring.
Yeah. Do you have any gut on what kind of jobs and what kind of time frame?
I think what you'll see over the time, and again, I'm not talking about the commercial service aspect.
Right.
I'm talking about maintenance, repair, and overhaul. I think you'll see over the next maybe 24 to 36 months, I think you'll see some maintenance, repair, and overhaul facilities being located here. And those jobs are a lot of mechanic jobs, repair jobs on planes, whether they're folks that are repairing, installing seats, repairing landing gear, whatever. Those are high-paying mechanic installation jobs. The aerospace industry is not a cheap industry. So they're blue-collar jobs, but they're high-paying jobs.
How does this relate to the FSO that we have here, which is Paulding Jet Center? Are they still in the mix?
Oh, the Paulding Jet Center is still RFBO.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're still RFBO. That hasn't changed.
Okay, they had a upgrading facility planned as well till we had the tornado take down.
That's right, right, and that hangar is still scheduled to begin construction. I'm not sure of the timing, but we should. I know we'll see construction by the end of the year on that.
Okay, so everything that's already been going on out here continues, but you're looking at a lot brighter prospects.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at this company and Propeller and the airports that they manage and operate, these are leaders in the industry. And you look at what they've done in Westchester, New York, which all around that airport are $1 million homes. Their value has increased over the last 5 to 10 years since they took over that airport. All the home values have increased dramatically, and they have country clubs next to the airport, and they know how to work airports in communities and make it compatible, and that's what we also like about them. If you look at other airports around the country, examples that are near residential, and we don't have a whole lot of residential, but we do have some. You look at the values in some of those areas, if it's not done right, we've seen situations where, it hasn't benefited the community. But these guys in every place that they've been, and again, Westchester is a high-income area in New York. It's benefited them greatly, and that's what we expect to see here in Paulding County.
Okay. As you can tell, the sounds of the air show make conversations a little tough, but I suspect there'll be plenty of talk this Saturday and Sunday as this year's Salute to America air show comes to Paulding County. For Paulding.com, I'm G. Patton Hughes reporting.